Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Glory Reds podcast. It's your boy, Don Benito, and today we have a good one. It's Derby Day, baby. It's Derby Day. Ah, how is the city going to look? Is it going to be red? Is it going to be blue? We are going to have to wait and see. But, guys, this game I'm nervous. I am very, very nervous. Very, very nervous. And I hate feeling nervous, especially before a big game like today. And the reason why I'm nervous is because of some of the things that we're going to be talking about today. So today we're going to be talking about the injury crisis at Manchester United. Like, I don't know what it is about United, but we just can't seem to stay away or run away from injuries. So we're going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about the transfer news, like what's happening. Because this past week, I remember I even thought that we are going to get a couple of here we goes, but we didn't get any, not even one. So what does that mean for Manchester United? We will talk about that. And last but not least, we're going to be talking about the current affair, or the current status of Manchester United, like the club moving on to this new season, like Wagwan. Already signs like PTSD. PTSD is coming back. Signs from last season and the season before, not being prepared for the Premier League season. Those thoughts and those feelings are back. We are seeing certain things happening at Manchester United and they're taking me straight back to last season. And I don't like that. I don't like that. I am worried. And yeah, we're going to talk about that today. Let's go. So it's Derby Day, guys. Like, the preseason tour is done for both United and City. Guys, we are at the last, what can I say? These are the last few preparations before the Premier League kicks off, right? And obviously, you guys know the Community Shield is played between the champions and the FA Cup finalists, the FA Cup champions. So it is a Manchester United derby. Sorry, not Manchester United derby. I take that back. It is a Manchester derby, and it is going to be cracking. But I can't help but feel like we're gonna get smashed. Like I'm scared. Scared is a strong word, but I'm nervous. I am nervous. I'm very, very nervous because I think you guys have noticed that we've been hit with an injury crisis again. I don't want to say it's an injury crisis per se because it's nothing compared to last season. But a lot of people might not feature for this game against City, or maybe it all depends. It all depends on how you think about it or how you see it. Because yes, the gaffer came out in the press conference and mentioned that there are a lot of question marks on certain players. He mentioned Harry Maguire. He mentioned Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He mentioned Johnny Evans. He mentioned Victor Lindelof. He mentioned, I think he mentioned Roberto Carlos. I'm not sure. Luke Shaw. So already when I do my maths, like it's not matching. You know what I mean? So I'm a little bit nervous. You got Johnny Evans, who, by the way, was a very good player for us last season. Did the job that he was required to do. We signed him for 1 year. He just came to do a job and he did it. Albeit he was injured some of the times, but he did his job. He's got a new contract. He's still at the club. During the preseason, he was taken off at second half because he was ill. So I'm not going to deep too much on that. But then we've got Lindelof. We've got Harry Maguire. We've got Luke Shaw. I've got a bone to pick with Luke Shaw because I remember Pastor D going mental during the Euros, saying, why the fuck is Luke Shaw at the Euros? I don't understand. He was taking flack from people. He was like, listen, I get it. But this guy hasn't played all season for Manchester United. How the fuck did he win a ticket to go to the Euros? How? He's not even fit. And then there were reports that during the Euros that Luke Shaw was not going to start because he was not yet fully fit. All those things. And you just sit there thinking to yourself, okay, I'm assuming clearly Manchester United have got a plan. Because as it stands, Tara Malacia back home is not anywhere near getting back. Yes, we've got the Harry Amas. There was no talks of us talking about a left back. There were no talks. So it made it seemed as though Luke Shaw was going to be the guy. Like they were just waiting for him to get to recover, to take over his spot, and then hopefully Tyrell Malacia or whoever backup they will have at the time will be there for Luke Shaw. That was then, right? And we sit there, and then Luke Shaw plays. He doesn't really play. He played in the final, if I'm not mistaken. I forgot. The Euros were just yesterday, but he played. But he didn't play as much. Like, basically what I'm trying to say is Luke Shaw didn't have to go to the Euros. He could have focused on his rehabilitation, on his recovery, and we could have been hitting the ground running. He probably could have been at the US tour. He probably would have been fit, game fit, and ready for us to go against Man City. But he goes to Euro, not fit. He recovers there, plays a couple of games, looks like he's fit, looks like he's going to come back to Manchester United fit and raring to go. He goes on holiday, comes back, boy is injured. What the fuck? What the fuck? I can understand Harry Maguire, Lindelof, all these guys that went on preseason, because preseason, I understand the injuries that were picked up from there. Euro's injury, I understand it. Rasmus Højlund, I understand it. Bennett's injury, I understand it. The little knocks that these other guys picked up, I understand them. I just don't understand Luke Shaw. And this now goes back to that conversation about Pastor D was saying. He was like, listen, I think it is time. And I remember he came out saying it boldly. Now, don't get me wrong. I agreed with him. But if you take it into context of what we were talking about at the time, we were talking about players that deserve to go. And, he went in on Luke Shaw in a way that, like, as though it seemed as though Luke Shaw was not a faithful servant to Manchester United. And I remember saying, oh, but man, Luke Shaw doesn't deserve this. But he did. Luke Shaw did. The truth is he did. And it was a very good criticism of Luke Shaw. Now we are sitting here getting ready to play against Man City, and this guy is not even fit. What the fuck was he doing during this holiday? Every player was given an off-season program to get ready, somehow get ready. Wagwan. So either it is Ineos, I actually don't know who to blame here. I don't know who to blame. I don't know if I should blame Luke Shaw. I blame Luke Shaw because in this particular scenario or situation, he was a little bit selfish with himself. He wasn't really gauging him. Like, I believe he wasn't really. I don't know because Luke Shaw is not the kind of guy to come on social media and talk a lot of shit and do these things. Nah, he's not. But why go to the Euros if you're not 100%? Why play if you're not 100%? He was playing, like, I don't get this part. And now we run the risk of going through another season without our best center fullback. Luke Shaw is in the top 5 best left backs in the world. Easy. But are we now going to next season without him? No. I can't. I understand everybody else because they were there. They picked up the injuries. I complained about how I was not impressed with the American stadiums. Dry pitches, small pitches, making these guys pick up knocks, the ball. Like, I was complaining about it. And I've been complaining about the preseason for 2 seasons now. I just don't like what we do during preseason. Like, preseason is the preparation for the season to come. But somehow, our preseasons are like, it's like a trip to the hospital. Like, I don't get it. And now we're playing the derby against Manchester City. Now, with all these players that are injured, how does Manchester United look? How? Okay, Onana is going to definitely be on the post. And by the way, just a side note, Onana said something about, I read somewhere that Onana was talking about how people need to be prepared. There are going to be a lot of risks taking. And I'm just reading this thing and I was on panic mode. I was panicking. Like, what does he mean that there are going to be a lot of risks? Like, last season there were risks. There were things that were happening last season that we didn't like. We didn't even know whether there were risks or not, but they happened. And they costed us a lot of goals. So what the fuck is Onana talking about? Like, I'm nervous. I'm really, really nervous. And I don't like feeling this way. Anyway, Onana at the back. Defense now. Defense. This is where the conundrum is. So the defense last season was the most plagued last season, injuries, and for some reason it was our most consistent. If you compare it to the attackers did shit. They did fuck all last season compared to the defenders. The defenders held their own. Fortunately for them, you know. So how is our backline looking if Harry Maguire is out, Victor Lindelof is out, Luke Shaw is out, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is out, Euro is out? How does our backline look? How? Because right now, as it stands, the only fit senior defensive players or players in the defense are Delop, Martinez, who else? Martinez, Delop. What the? Could it be Evans? Am I missing someone? I feel like I'm missing somebody. But those are the only fit. Okay, let me just say. What? Let me just say that Delop and Martinez are the only ones that are fit right now. And both players, Martinez and Delop, came late back. They were not on the tour. I don't know how well or how far they went into their off-season program, but we have got no center backs. So expect a mismatch up. Expect Casemiro at center back. Expect Amas. Expect these youngsters, these small boys. Expect one of them to come in and fill in that spot for that defense. Because I don't know how our defense is going to look, honestly. Because the gaffer literally just came out and said there's a question mark on Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw, like how this is the game before the season and we are complaining, and already the media is out. They are already saying, listen, Erik ten Hag, you have got no excuses, my friend. No excuses this season. Hey, you want to complain about injuries? What? They're not. They've already started their campaigns. They are ready, because people just don't understand how we, the fans, support Erik ten Hag and we're pushing for him. Now he's there. They're like, all right, you guys wanted this guy. Cool. You wanted him? Cool. But we're bringing out the forks. We're bringing out the pitchforks. And that's what's going to happen. So that defense, I honestly cannot tell you who will play. But there is a hint in the way the gaffer said his things. Because he mentioned that there are question marks. We just need to wait for them. Like, we wait to see how they progress in this day, on this tomorrow, on this training session, and whatever. So Harry Maguire, Johnny Evans, even Aaron Wan-Bissaka to a certain extent. These guys picked up impact injuries, knocks, nothing too serious. Wan-Bissaka I can understand because he's somebody that is on the transfer list. If he gets injured, it becomes an issue for trying to offload him. Unless the team that wants him completely, because we bought Delop when he was injured. Remember, when he was 19? Oh, you guys forgotten? Yeah, we bought Delop when he was injured. Came to United injured. Stayed a couple of injured. So, like, if there's a club out there that's going to be like, all right, listen, we're gonna take Wan-Bissaka even though he's injured and then wait for him to get better. Cool, but I don't see how that is going to happen. It's going to happen. I don't see that happening because right now everybody wants to hit the ground running. Everybody wants to start the season firing on all cylinders. And we somehow just find ourselves in a predicament that makes no sense, especially with everything that has been going, the new vibes, the new energy, the new Ineos, players coming in, excitement for the new season. Everything has just changed. And this game today, like I if we get smashed by Man City, I I I don't want to see the next day. Not that I want to kill myself or die, but man, the world is not going to rest. We are going to get it. We are properly going to get it. And then we look in the midfield. Who's there? Bruno, just like Martinez, Dalot, and everybody else that was playing in the Euros, um, he's the one player that I'm sitting here thinking to myself, if I see his name in the starting lineup, I wouldn't be surprised because he's our Magnifico. He's Bruno. He's Bruno Fernandes. Man, come on. But that could be dangerous because if he's not fully fit and he exerts himself, he could pick up an injury, and then that's bye-bye to the skipper. And then that's bye-bye. We don't know. So we're not trying to be funny. So he's the one player that out of everybody else in that team, like if there's a moment or a player that can play that is not maybe fully fit or something, guy that to do a job, it's Bruno Fernandes. But he didn't really feature much in this preseason, so I don't know how it's going to be. But in that midfield, Casemiro, Mason Mount, Eriksen, McTominay, Collier, Oyadele, who else? Who else? And then in attack, we've got Rashford, Anthony, Sancho, Ahmad, Garnacho. He's back, but I don't think he's going to start. So Garnacho, I don't think he's going to start. Mainu, I don't think he's going to start. Bruno Fernandes, it's a question mark. He's the only one that could start. Him being the captain and him being our Magnifico, our Bruno. Like Bruno's different. Bruno's built different, so I wouldn't be surprised there. So I don't know. Like I tried to formulate a starting lineup based on the information that has been presented to us and what I think based on the preseason, and I still can't come up with a starting 11. I can't. Because if the players are injured, then it looks like we're playing with a back three. Or we are playing with Casemiro and Martinez at center back, and then we're going to fill up the other guys. Dalot plays right back, Amas plays left back. Amas has got a substitute in Murray, so that's not even a big problem. But we're playing Man City. Man City, however, are also missing a couple of key players for them as well. So the game could be balanced, but we all know that Man City are levels above us. Even with the weakest team, they are levels above us. Levels. And this has been in the making. This has been in the making. Man City could be without Foden, Rodri, Diaz, maybe Bernardo Silva. I don't know, but they're missing a couple of their heavy hitters. But that doesn't mean that they are weak. That doesn't mean that Man City has been watered down. Hell no. In fact, they've even become more dangerous because you don't even know who's going to who where. And I was watching them this preseason. Oscar Bob, McEntee, Haaland gaining muscle, looking like he's like he's a and we are missing our strikers, and so I'm a little bit worried. I can't really tell you how I think our starting lineup is going to be because I'll be lying. I will be fucking lying if I said that this guy is going. The only player that I can tell you right now will start and play that game with confidence is Onana. He's Onana. But everybody else, I don't know. But expect a goal from Ahmad. That's the only thing that I can say when it comes to this derby. If Ahmad doesn't start this game, then I don't know. But if there's anybody that I believe is going to do something for Manchester United today against Man City, is Ahmad. I don't know why. I just have this feeling. There's this smell in the air that tells me that Ahmad might just do something. Ahmad is our Rashford, our new Rashford. Remember when Rashford burst into the scene, and whenever we was playing top 6 teams, he was just smashing. Like, he didn't give a shit. Liverpool, take it. City, take it. Chelsea, you want long range, take it. You, take it. Rashford was like that. Ahmad has done pretty well against very big teams, and he's giving me that energy. So I'm expecting to see a lot of good things for Ahmad today. I just don't know who is going to start. Like I said, I'm not even going to predict the starting lineup on the app because I literally don't know. I don't know. Does that make me weird? Like, does that mean I don't know what I'm fucking talking? I don't know. And that's worrying me. That is worrying me. It is worrying me a lot. And this is the situation. This is why I never wanted to feel from last season. I remember that frustration. The frustration. I'm not yet frustrated, but I'm boiling. I'm getting there. Ineos needs to do something fast. And the thing that is now driving me nuts, because we spent almost the whole transfer window trying to get rid of players that might not go. Wan-Bissaka, I don't know where his next destination is going to be, because West Ham have pulled away. West Ham have changed their focus. They're thinking about somebody else. I think they want was it Kieran Trippier? They want Kieran Trippier. So they have stopped looking at Wan-Bissaka. So if they've stopped looking at Wan-Bissaka, which other team? The only other team that's out there looking at Wan-Bissaka is Galatasaray. But there've not been any news or nothing coming out from Turkey. So I don't know where we stand there. So if Wan-Bissaka doesn't go, that means we're not bringing in the players that we want to bring in. Matthias de Ligt, Mazraoui, we can't get these players in without selling. Forget that story. It's not happening. Now, Manchester United, what do we want to do? Do we want to sell? What's going on? Like, I know things are a little bit tricky right now, but we need to come up with a plan. Because if you guys don't come up with a plan, what's going to happen is people are going to forget that Erik ten Hag is not in control of this situation. People are going to forget that Erik ten Hag is not the one that's bringing in these players. It's not his responsibility. But because he's the manager, he's going to take the full blunt. He's the one that's controlling the team. He's the one that's picking the starting 11. He's going to start picking a starting 11 of players that some players should be gone as per the new Manchester United. Some players need to be gone, but he won't be able to get rid of them, and he will play them because those are players that are there. And for me, I don't complain when that happens. I'm not going to sit here and start saying, I know who is responsible for that. I know who's responsible for getting us players into Manchester. I know. So I'm not going to sit here and start saying, no, I'm not going to do that. But we need players. The Premier League starts next week. What the fuck? Like, yo. Hey, Ineos. What happened to the promises? Wagwan. Do something. We started off good. Now we're looking very pathetic as Manchester United. Like, what's going on? I can't keep sitting here stressed. And here they're like, where's the ruthlessness? You look at Chelsea, right? Chelsea is offloading players. Gallagher is gone. This one is gone. Nana is gone. Players that they bought in 6 months ago, some of them are gone. Well, that's just a joke, but you get my drift. They are selling. Chalobah is going. I don't know if he's gone, but people are going. But Manchester United now, you're not going. Hey, where are you going, Harry Maguire? Where are you going? You go, I'm going with you. This is what we are doing. And It is driving me crazy. I don't know what's going to happen in this Manchester derby, because derbies are derbies. Anything can go. These guys can wake up today. Rashford can wake up today possessed and say, listen, City, y'all are not seeing shit today, and go and smack them. It's very, very possible. Sancho can bring in the Sancho against PSG first leg. It can happen. Ahmad can just bring in some other thing. These McTominay can become prime Lionel Messi. These things happen. The things happen. But my only concern is the fact that we are not prepared. Like in a game like this, at this stage, 1 week or a week and a half before the Premier League actually starts, and we have got no players. We look like we've got no plan. You look at Arsenal flying high. Everybody else doing deals, doing like we were, but it's just gone cold. Ugarte, what's happening there? Like, it's very difficult to gauge where we're going as Manchester United fans. So it's hard. It's hard. So for this derby day, I don't know. A predicted score, my heart is telling me that Manchester United can beat these guys. And if we beat them, I can see a 2-1. I do. Or 1-0. But my brain is telling me that na Benito. Man City are a problem. They are very strong. Now, it depends on how you guys are gonna line up, but if my brain is telling me that Man City can smack us 3-1, or I don't think 4. I don't wanna exaggerate it, and then like make it look like I don't trust my team. But then with the crisis that we're having, and then we're playing against the Man City that's got Haaland scoring in who's already in the mood as he is right now, mixed with the Kevin De Bruyne that's going to come back and help him. Like, yo, easy. We don't stand a chance. But it's Derby Day. I'm supporting Man United. We're gonna sit here. I'm gonna praise them. If they do well, we're gonna give them a shout out. But Ineos need to start making moves. Ineos need to start making moves as soon as yesterday, because the time is gone. The time is gone. This thing of now what, like, we are changing strategies as we go, which is so annoying. All of a sudden we want Sander Berge, who we wanted a couple of years ago when he went, I think, to Sheffield United. Now all of a sudden he's there. He wants to come to Manchester United. He was relegated with his team last season. He's like, I get him. Like, the profile of player is the typical United CDM. He's tall like Rodri. I don't think he's technically gifted like Rodri, but he's a decent, solid CDM. We're being linked to him instead of Ugarte. Like, who are we getting? Ugarte or Sander Berge? Or Zubimendi? Well, Zubimendi is gone because Liverpool are pushing for that guy. Like, Zubimendi was also another guy that, I don't know. This is your boy, Don Benito. Thank you for listening to the Glory Reds podcast. Please, 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 please leave a comment. Tell us what you think. Are you nervous about Manchester United? Like, how are you feeling? Where are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the new signing? Like, Xerxes, Euro, the injury crisis. Are you excited about the story with Ivan Toney? Like, Manchester United are looking to adding another striker. Like, where are you? Please leave your comment, like, subscribe. It's your boy Don Benito. Peace.